Okay, we should be live. Welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Steve. I'm here with Bairnt.
Yes, Steve, I am here. We are doing the co-op chat. We're going to talk all things co-op news and stuff that you do better intros than I do. Why did I even try?
I loved it. News and stuff. Which, I
And
mean, it's
stuff.
true. But yeah, welcome. Yeah, this is the weekly vid chat where we keep it open and loose. So, and yes, thank you, Snow, for joining. Hi to you as well. So, but yes, we normally talk about upcoming cooperative news and then get into discussion topic. Today, we have chosen, well, the plan was to pick one game to talk about and to spotlight that, a game that maybe is a little bit older, you don't hear a lot of discussions about, and just, put a spotlight on it. One of us may have not decided one game and maybe talk about multiple games, so we'll see how this goes. Oh,
We
it's
shall
fun
see what
times.
happens this episode. It'll be a blast.
Well, I think the problem is like, oh, you're so excited, like, oh, I want to talk about this game, this game, this game. Let's cover them all. So, right.
Yeah. Well, like when Steve told me we're going to do one game, I was like, I went downstairs and I was like, messaging him, like, which one? And I was talking to Tom, like, which one should I talk about? He's like, I don't know, man. But we'll find it. You will learn about at least one game from me today.
That's right. That's right. All right, so let's jump in that soon. But let's talk about the news real quick. So we have some games coming to Kickstarter this week. First one we'll talk about is One Deck Galaxy. If you're familiar with One Deck Dungeon, this is the sci-fi version of it. So it is a solo or cooperative, um, like a almost like a Yahtzee push your luck type game. So Snow's giving crap, by the way. She's saying like, "Oh, just choose one game, roll a d50 to find out which."
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should have done that.
Yeah, I like it. Um, but yes, One Deck Galaxy. This is one of those. Yeah, like I said, a push your luck game. I did play this a long time ago. It was many years ago at this point, so I don't know. I'm assuming lots of things changed since then, but yeah, I do like the sci-fi theme of this one, and there was some really interesting bosses you can do, and the cooperation was pretty fun. So, yeah, could be taking a look at this one when it launches, and that's probably going to launch, I believe, Tuesday, this week.
Sweet. I'm probably going to get that one.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Okay, the next one we'll talk about. Yeah, Snow says I think it was shown like a year ago. Yeah, it was more than a year ago because I remember. I think I played it at I think I previewed it at Gen Con a few years ago. Yeah, this has been in the works for a while. So, but yep, it should be coming to crowdfunding. All right.
Nice.
The next game we'll talk about is Masters of the Universe. You might
Dun
be
dun
like,
dun 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 dun
yes. Like, did you guys already talk about one recently? I'm like, yeah, we did. But
Yes, we did.
this is
To
the
talk about. Why are okay? So super excited that we're getting all these '80s games. It's like it's all of a sudden it's like okay, let's drop your like after school like entire television series right in front of you at one time. Here you go, all of it.
It's
I mean,
so
it's like,
true.
can we maybe space these out a little bit?
There's been a lot of them lately. But yeah, this is continuing that trend apparently. This one is by Simon, so a different publisher this time around. And the last game was being supplied to all countries except for US. And this one is being supported by US. Um, and I assume everyone else can get it too. I'm really not really sure on that. I'm not really sure how the IP works in this one, to be honest.
Okay.
I need to
Is
look
that
into
because most likely that the other one, Cool Mini or Not, had the IP, so they couldn't do it in the US, and so
That's my assumption. Yeah, I'm not really sure all the details on that, but I did look in this one, and this one, like the other game, was more of a adventure romp where you choose teams and you explore Eternia and go on quests, all that fun stuff. This one, the Simon version, is more of a skirmish game, and so you can do a one versus many approach. You can also do fully cooperative. The
No.
cool thing about this is each character can be played like solo or as part of a team, and can also has an AI mode as well. So you'd be like, hey, I want to play Skeletor this time, and then if you want to play Skeletor as the bad guy, well, guess what? Flip the card over, and now he's got his AI rules on the back.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's all skirmish based with objective points you have to take over and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's we'll see more about it later this week. So,
All right, so now all they have to do is bring out Mask, and I think we've got all of the cartoons I used to watch when I was a kid.
Mask.
I mean, because I know Disney's not going to do a whole bunch of them, because otherwise you could do DuckTales and Tailspin
Oh
and Darkwing
man,
Duck. I mean, I
I've
used to
been
watch those too.
I've been introducing my son to those cartoons, and man, those bring back memories. I used to watch
They
all
do.
those too.
They do. I think I had a lot of them recorded on my VHS tape, maybe even some on my Beta VCR.
Wow. Hey, good morning, Ryan. Thanks for joining. So, yep,
That's Masters of the Universe.
that's good.
Steve's going to talk about something else now.
Nope, you just got suddenly louder for me, and I don't know why. So,
Raw.
okay. So let's go on to the last one I'll talk about. Oh yeah, someone says Mask would be fun, although the only reason I know it is because of the movie. Yeah.
I see. I just there was a cartoon show on like from 6. I think might have been at 6:30 in the morning. Surprise, surprise! When I was younger, I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day and watch cartoons when I was young. Then I got older and decided that was for the birds.
Yeah.
Now the only reason I get up early is to hang out and talk to Steve.
It's like, oh, why are we up so early? So, oh boy. Okay. The next one we want to talk about is Three Tail. In this game, we do have a preview on the One Stop Co-op Shop channel, so you can go check it out there. It's available right now to watch. Mike covered this one.
Okay.
And this one is a cooperative adventure game. It's 1 and 3 players. And I believe if you play one, you play all 3 characters. I think you always have to have 3 characters in the game.
Yes, I think you do. And I actually think this one looks kind of cool. William over at Hungry Gamer did a little preview on this one too, so I watched both of those, and both of them really kind of made me interested in this game. So this is one I might definitely be looking at.
Yeah, it's interesting that you kind of build out the board as there's like different mini goals you have to do, and once you finish that, you have a big quest you have to do. So then you set up the final quest and you complete whatever it is, but you don't know what it is until you get through these mini goals. Essentially, is how it works.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
Snow confirmed.
Yeah, she's got it.
It was all over it. But yeah, Three Tails coming September 16th. So, is there meant to be secret info or could 2 play? Dan's asking. I believe, yeah, you can play 2-player. There's no secret information I know from this game. But you should always have those 3 characters. So either you share 1 character or someone has 2 characters, I believe.
Yes.
And Snow said, I wish the future part would be decided beforehand, though, and not just random choice after the past. Yeah, so I can see that how that could be a good thing, bad thing for different people, right? Meaning that,
and I think it's your game. I mean, you always can play a game as long as you're having fun playing it. Play it the way you think is the most fun. I don't see why you can't pick the one. You say you could just pick one and then just play the past as you want, and then later finish off with the future of your choice.
True.
I know it's not how the game's built, but if that's what's fun, sure.
Yeah, that would work.
Steve changes games all the time.
Yeah, I know house rule games. What are you talking about? I think every single stream, Kim comes down like, okay, playing this game, what'd you do to make it harder? So
That's right. That's right.
So, but yeah, those are the 3 cooperative games coming out this week. So be on the lookout for that.
And yes, I agree, Snow. That would probably mess with the balance. I'm sure that is why it is built the way it is.
Yeah.
But again, if it makes it fun for you, I mean, that's the way it goes.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about some spotlight games.
Spotlight games.
Would you like to start, Bairnt, or you want me to start?
Why don't I start? Because I have more than you, and so I can talk about one, and then you can talk about one, and then I can wrap up the show and just ramble until 8:30. Okay, let's start. I've got one right here. Now, this one was kind of fun. Colin did a playthrough of this. I have not done a playthrough of this one yet. Then after I saw the playthrough, I thought, hey, that kind of looks kind of cool. And then he downloaded the brand new DLC for it, and we got together and played this game together, and we had so much fun. We laughed hysterically. And so at the end, he's like, you should take this home, and I think you and your wife, Robin, really get a kick out of it. And I said, I think she would get a kick out of this because she likes adventure-y kind of games and things like that that aren't super expansive but are still fun. And so I brought it home, and we have played, I think it was 3 missions now out of the base box. And whenever we decide what kind of game we want to play, we always seem to come back to this one. And it is Forgotten Waters. Is it in the picture? And it's up backwards, and it's like reverse photo image. All right, so there we go. Forgotten Waters is my game. And it hasn't been talked about much. Colin just did kind of one playthrough of it. He might have put it on a list. Who knows? He usually puts about every game on a list. So that's probably on one list somewhere. Maybe it's on his top water games, 10 games about water or something. So
top 10 games with water in the title.
That's right. What it is you're a pirate, and it's actually meant to be mostly semi-competitive. But we played it completely cooperative. So we have kind of adjusted it a little bit where we've kind of taken on a lot of the competitive cards because you get these treasures that you can use but someone would be like, oh, steal a treasure from a fellow pirate or something. But you're all working together to complete this game, this goal. And the goal is this app. It is a map game. Here we go. App games. I don't mind app games. I like app games. They're fun for me. But it kind of has an app that you go along with, and it reads what it is, or you can hit the mute button and just read it yourself, which we did because we made voices for everybody. Then at the end it tells you to go to a certain page in this book, and once you get to that page, then you have to do what's on that page with certain of your pirates, and so we usually play with 4. And then once you do the thing with the pirates, you roll dice. It's a D20 system. You just roll the die and see if you pass your skill checks, and then you get like tokens to help you pass them or fail them more. And you also this little boat that you move around the board. Am I even explaining this well? And what you do is you then are able to reveal tiles that bring you to other parts of this book. And I'm actually really surprised at how the app tracks where the heck I'm going. I don't know how it does it, but it does a really good job of it. And by the end, you're able to finally go to your final mission in that adventure. And we have found that it's challenging enough that every time we get to the end, we're like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to make this? And we've succeeded in all the missions, but it's been touch and go, which is really cool. So it is challenging. And you get to explore this kind of piratey world. And the story is very comical. They obviously are not super strict piratey rule, like really make it seem piratey. Like there's just a lot of different things. They play on the humor of the genre and everything. So it's a really, really fun game, and I've had a blast playing it. So I played it once with Colin, I played it 3 times with my wife, and we've had an absolute blast doing it. I don't know if it'd be something you could do 4 players. So I think you'd start getting a little bit I guess you could do it 4 players. It's really just a lot of listening to kind of the narrative, and then you just pick what you want to do. And it's all simultaneously picking what you want to do, and you all simultaneously roll the die to see what you do. But it actually could probably be played with 4 players without too much problem. It's just a matter of time if you have a group that wouldn't mind listening to a story as they play.
Yeah, and it says it goes up to 7 players. I'm looking at the BGD page. Is that correct?
What? Let me look at the box. I've got this great game right down here. Let me see. It says, it is Plaid Hat Games. That's why they have a app for it. They seem to be very app-driven games.
Yeah.
3 to 7 players, because remember, this is kind of semi-co-op or competitive in theory.
Right.
And it takes about 2 to 4 hours. That is no joke.
Oh, it's a really long game, huh?
But it is a longer game. But you can always, they have moments, usually about 3 times during your adventure, where I'll say like, okay, you've come to the end of chapter 2. If you wish to continue, go to this page in the book. Otherwise, this is a good stop. Like, it kind of gives you this like, hey, this is a stopping point if you really want to. And that's usually how we play. We usually do it usually takes us 3 nights to do it. So we do actually have that's the other thing we have to show you. Oh, more stuff, Steve. So inside this box, you get these like cool little paths you get to take. And it gives you this little sheet, the ship scribe, where you write down different like keywords, and that's how it kind of tracks what you've done in the game so far. Mm-hmm. And then you have your piratey people that you can name, and then they have these own star charts. And so like I've got my character here. This was Yo Ho, and he's got all this stuff. He's a pirate, obviously. And so as you go, you get to like you'll get points that you check off here, and then it gives you then of course can you check off on your box. And then once you get those, then you open them up, and it's almost like a Mad Lib in the inside if you wanted to
Hmm.
do it. And then so as you get different stars unlocked, you get better abilities and things for your character. All right, there we go. That is now Forgotten Waters. Now it can be hopefully not forgotten by you all, and you can go pick this up by playing.
Hey, Paul, thanks for joining. Yeah, and Snow's like, boo, semi co-op, 3 to 4 hours.
It is
So,
semi co-op, but we always play completely co-op. We don't ever like we'll get to the like because you're supposed to choose where you're supposed to go in this book, and so like we'll talk about like, hey, who do you think's best at doing this? Who do you think is best at doing this? Instead of just I'm gonna do this, roar, and you put your guy there and like totally take out your friends from being able to do something that'd be something they'd be better at.
and
Paul, good to see you.
I'm curious too, like how, what percentage of the cards you have to pull out to make it fully
Not many.
co-op?
And you know, honestly, I think there was like I think 10 out of this like stack.
Oh,
And on top of that, if we ever got one that really didn't seem like it would fit, we would just draw a new card.
sure.
It's not groundbreaking. These cards are not groundbreaking at all. One would be something like, oh, that gives you +1 to your banana scale or something. And so, okay, great, got +1 to my banana scale. That's not a skill. I made that up. But so that's usually what the cards are doing, or they give you a detriment with a bonus of some kind.
Sure.
Like for example, my wife got one where it was called "You're now in your birthday suit" or something. Something happened, all her clothes were gone, so she got like -3 to her like whenever she had to check her crew skill or something because she had so. But next time she went to a port, she was able to discard the card. She could buy more clothes, which was kind of funny. Again, there's the humor in this game, which is kind of it's pretty good.
Yeah, I always like pirate games, and I always struggle trying to find a good co-op one. There's like
Yeah,
every pirate game out there is competitive in some nature, right?
I
Everyone.
haven't found one yet. This is the only one I've played that I really enjoy, and I've played a few, a very very small few. So this one, we really like this one. We love the story, we love the characters, we love the kind of little progressiony thing. And that progression, of course, once you're done with your like 2 to 4 hour game and you go to the next one, you get a whole new character and everything. So you start all over again. It's not like
Hmm.
everything proceeds to the next and the next and the next and the next.
I've been messing around with Tiny Epic Pirates, which is the game we haven't talked about much, and
Yeah.
that one is also competitive, but plays solo, and you play with AI. And so I've been trying to figure out if you can make it so that it's like multiple people against the AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been tweaking a little bit, and I think I can probably make it work. There's a few questions still have, but that game is really fun for a pirate game. I'd say. Now there is a co-op pirate game that I've been talking about with the designer. I did a playtest once already. Um, and it's got Kraken in it, so you like travel. It's got two acts. The first act you travel around and you like level up your ship, and the second act you work together to battle this giant kraken with
Oh, that's
tentacles
kind of
coming
cool.
everywhere. So yeah, that one's not coming out until coming to crowdfunding until sometime next year. But I got excited once I co-op pirate. So
Nice. Nice.
Snow says some themes are really doubling down on competitive, and yeah, exactly. Pirates aren't known to actually cooperate.
No,
Yep,
no,
very true. And I
that's
think
pretty
that's
awesome.
exactly why we don't see co-op pirates. But yeah, so that's why I was excited to see this other one. I think it's called Davy Jones Locker, I believe. I gotta double check. But yeah,
All right.
like what, a co-op pirate game? I don't believe it. So
So what do you got, Steve?
what do I got? Okay, I got a game that if you guys know me, this probably won't come as a surprise. It is.
So nobody's ever heard of this game, and it's a really out there game. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not. It's yeah. It's. Let's see. Hold up. Okay, it is Samurai Spirit. So it's an older
Oh, I
game.
played this with you.
You have.
Yes, you and I and Peter have played this.
Yeah. So I love this game. Yes, Snows. I think Snows played this one too. I think she also likes it if I remember correctly. But yes, it is. I love it because it's a small box, which is really nice.
Steve,
And
you are brilliant. You took your box lid off. See, here I am trying to lift this whole thing up.
yes, secret. So, but yes, it's the reason why I like this game is sometimes I'm traveling with a lot, or I got option to play with a lot of people, and I love party games, and that's generally the go-to for large groups. But this is one of those few cooperative games that isn't a party game that can play a lot of players, and it plays up to 7. Um, oh yeah, And Snow says, "I own this one mostly for solo." And yeah, Kevin, we played this one. So, and yes, a small box with a small footprint, which is really nice. In fact, actually, you can pull that out real quick so you guys can see the board.
Morning, Kevin.
So the board is really small. So you see my hand size. So it's great. It's a tiny footprint game, and it plays 7, and it's kind of a. I think it got missed a bit because this was the follow up or the game that Antoine Bowser did after Ghost Stories. And when it came out, a lot of people refer to it as cooperative blackjack, which, to be fair, isn't a bad description of it. But I think a lot of people when you sit down and play it, because the goal is, okay, so I pull up on the cards real quick. The goal is you try to get through 3 battles defending the village. And everybody has different characters, and on the character card you have right here you've got a tracker. So you'll put the bad guys, which are all have different values on them. Like this guy's a number 2, and you'll fill up this bar. And the goal is to try to hit your key value, I believe, to trigger your special ability at the bottom, right? And then you kind of like can reset and do it again. But if you go over, bad things happen. And so you're trying to do that, and then if at some point you've taken enough damage, you go into beast mode, which is really fun. Um, so, but it is. Oh yeah, someone mentioned yes, it was talked about as the poor man's ghost story. I can see that. Yeah, it is pretty cheap to buy. But yeah, you go through 3 waves of them. If you survive, if the village survives after 3 waves, you win the game. And I think for me, why I like this game is, like I said before, it scales up to a high player count, and it works really well at all those player counts, I believe. And the really nice thing about it is it's very combo-y. I love combos, and so it's a lot of it's like, oh, well, I can pass you this card. I can see that if I pass you this card, I can trigger your key value, or I can look at the top 2 cards and maybe set the deck up for you to have a better effect or something like that. And all these like combos come to light after a while, and the combos vary based upon obviously the team composition, which is really interesting. But I think you won't like this if you don't like a little bit of the alpha gamer thing going on, because in this one all the information's open. There's no hidden information, no hands up card or anything. And when you draw a card, you can look at the board and be like, you know what, I think you should probably play it here or do this one thing here. And so if you're okay with like cooperativeness of that side where you're trying to figure out what best to do in the situation, it works great. But I can see some people maybe not like that as much. That's probably the biggest negative I have for the game. But yeah, I think the game's fantastic for a non-party game that plays up to 7 players cooperatively.
I was kind of surprised that mine was 7 players.
Yeah, that's what I was curious. Like, wow, we both chose 7-player games. How about that? So
That's good work.
yeah, this one, because it's so small, I carry with me all the time. Like if I I throw it in my bag frequently because like, oh yeah, this is small, easy to transport.
I only got about 2 games I think I can transport all over the place.
Snow mentioned says, I say if you have Alpha Gamer, you're stuck with competitive games. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I use that term, but I don't think it really bothers me very much, and I try to be conscious of it. Like, if people say, "Well, what do you think I should do?" I'm like, "I'll just pick something. It's fine. You know,
I usually give them their options and be like, so here's here's some of the options you have. You can
right,
choose which one you think would be best.
right."
And
The
I
nice thing
watch
about
them.
co-op, like, yeah, we're playing to win, but like, it's not the point of why I play games. At least for me, it isn't.
Correct.
So it's like I'm here. This is a shared experience. I want to share it with you guys. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, message to the alpha gamers: let the people play. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's fine. It's no big deal. Like I think the problem you get into the alpha gamer situation when you're so set on needing to win the game, and once you kind of are okay with that potential, like it's fine. It's
We could almost make a chat out of that sometime.
we should. I think we should. That would be a good topic. Talk about alpha
Mm-hmm.
gaming. We should bring that up because I
And kind of
know
pros and cons.
pros and cons and like what games have it in there. Because I know I had a discussion back in the day with Jason also on the One Stop and on Shelf Stories about alpha gaming, and does alpha gaming exist within pandemic? And yes and no, and is that a problem or not? So it was an interesting discussion. Snow cracks me up here. She's a serious alpha gamer when she plays solo. Nice. Stop telling me what to do in my head.
Right. So you
Cookie
got so
said,
that was Samurai, which is Spirit.
Samurai Spirit, yep.
All right, I did Forgotten Waters. All
Says
right,
alpha
so
gaming occurs when the people you play with aren't very good at the game. Yeah, which can happen, true. Yep.
I
Don't
got
do that
another game,
move.
a couple games here that are not alpha gaming.
Oh yeah, then we do
One
another
of
one.
them, these are actually both coming back to my channel pretty soon that haven't been talked about in a long time. Mainly,
I
one is
do
because of
have a hard
mobile.
stop though, so we do one more. I think we'll save the
Yep,
other one for
I know.
later.
We got 3 minutes. So I'm going to talk real fast.
Okay.
This one's coming back to my channel. I really want to get this one back. There's a problem with mold. It's done. I got the minis painted up. We're good to go. This one's coming back. Colin did a playthrough so long ago about this one. I've done a playthrough so long ago about this one, and I still keep to this day keep getting people saying, "Hey, you bring back Folklore. Hey, you bring back Folklore." Yes, I am bringing back Folklore. This is coming back. It will come back to probably both channels. I know just because there did so many updates with it. The other one that's coming back to a channel is I have promised this one again coming back to a channel. We haven't talked about this in a long time, but the third edition is being shipped, and I'm hoping to get that back to the channel pretty soon. Those are two of my favorite dungeony kind of crawlers. Even though I would say that Ball of Spire Folklore stuff is never a dungeon crawler, it's more of an RPG in a box. I like the fact
Yeah.
that you have a mission or kind of a quest that you're on, that quest book, but outside of that, as you're moving to this quest, the whole world can do things to you, and you can just end up in another quest already, just a side quest, you could say. So those are a couple of games. I couldn't pick one, so I had to pick more, but I'm not gonna have a lot of time to talk about it. But those are three that I know we don't talk a lot about, but I think are really cool games.
Okay, so here's my proposal. Since we kind of I have a hard stop here. I got to end the stream in a couple minutes
Yes.
here. I would like to hear in the comment section below on this channel which of these two do you want us to talk about next week. So you want to hear about Machina Arcana or Forgotten, or no, sorry, Folklore, and then we'll try to put a spotlight on one of those next week. So I've seen already some comments in there as well.
I did not expect to do that, Steve.
No, it's fine. It's a good tie-in, and then we'll talk about that, and we'll add alpha gaming to the chat coming up here.
That's not a bad idea. I could try to, because actually those games can be alpha game, and they technically could, because they have. I mean, a lot of the information's open. It is kind of like a very RPG-ish game in a box, where the other one is a dungeon crawler, where you kind of have an idea of what everybody can do.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely, I don't think there's no hidden information in Machina Arcana. All the items and stuff are out on the board. The monsters are all on the board.
I'm seeing a lot of folklore comments, so that one might be the one to pick. But I'll see what happens in the YouTube comments after the fact. So, but yeah. So I'll count them up, and we'll pick one of those to cover next week. So
Paul's super excited for Folklore.
yes, yes.
I am too. My wife and I have played this game. We really enjoy it. We've gotten through the first. There's I think four quest books plus the new one from the Spire. So there's a lot of content, and we just haven't made it all that far. But I know Steve has a hard stop here pretty soon, so we got to wrap this up.
Yep.
He has to. You're going to a birthday party.
Kid's birthday party. Yep.
Kid's birthday party. There you go.
I will mention a couple of things. So later today on the stream channel, we are going to be playing Red Dragon Inn, which is an upcoming dungeon crawler. I already did a video on it in the past, and I think we did another one on the main channel. Maybe another one on the main channel is coming. I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. There's one coming on this channel later today, and Peter's going to be running that one. It is in the same. It's by Slugfest Games in the same IP as Red Dragon Inn. So very fun, very light dungeon crawl. The other thing I'll mention is next week. I'll put this on the schedule, but next week Wednesday is Gen Con, and Fantasy Flight Games is going to do their in-flight report where they do a bunch of announcements on our Discord channel. I will set up a specific channel where we can talk about that, watch it live, and then after the fact we'll go on YouTube Live with a bunch of the One Stop crew, and we'll talk about our thoughts and impressions. And hopefully they announce some co-op games. We'll see. Otherwise, it'll be a very quick stream. So.
Yep, wild kids appear.
Wild kids appear. Yes.
The house is up.
Yep. Yep. This is a loose and fun. So
that's right.
Cool. That's all I got today. But Bairnt, thanks all for joining me. Thanks everyone online for hanging out with us.
It's awesome to see you all. It's awesome to see you, Steve. Thank you all for joining. We'll be on probably our regular time next night, 8:30 Eastern.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll
Is that we
see.
normally are on, Steve? What are you normally on at?
We vary. Like it's around this time. Just
I don't
what's the
even remember what I
schedule?
normally on. Usually I set my alarm like a half hour before I'm supposed to meet with Steve, and I get up and get ready and meet with him.
Sounds good.
He just tells me when I'm supposed to be here, and I do it.
Nice.
All right,
Cool.
Steve, have a wonderful time. And thank
Yep.
you all for being here.
Catch you guys later. We'll see you at the next stop. Bye bye.